Hello and welcome to Hacking Gourmet. This is the the music before the intro music, which is like this South Beach kind of thing. I mean, I don't know about you. I wanted to take my shirt off. I mean, I just, I think it will. No, I'm not going to. Let's not do that to anybody. So this is Hacking Gourmet. Welcome to the Hacking Gone Wild, uncensored spring break. You know what? We don't even have a curfew. Unlike Miami right now, which has a curfew at 8 p.m., we don't even have a curfew on the show until we basically run out of food, which is somewhere around the 45-minute mark. I'm Fred Rui. I am the guest moderator because, quite frankly, I haven't been able to get them to fire me yet, but I'm still working on it. But follow us. Hit that little bell button. Hit the little follow, whatever, send, share, do whatever you got to do on the social media to give both these guys a lot of love because they're cooking. I want to say they're cooking only for you, but I've seen the after show when we hang out and they're just sitting there eating the food. So it's not only for you. Matter of fact, I'm a little disappointed that Carney's actually in Orlando and he's not at my house cooking, but we'll talk about that in a minute. But Adam, this was basically going to be the preparing spring break and hangover inspired dishes. And guess what? I even read the notes, so I even knew what they're cooking on here. So I'm pretty impressed with myself. But let's not make it about me. Let's make it about you, and let's make it about Brian and Carney and bring them into the show. Welcome, guys.
Fred, I thought for a minute there we hit it big and we had Daft Punk do the waiting music for us. I was kind of excited.
You know what? I thought it was Daft Punk, and then I just remembered that 2 weeks ago they broke up. They did a video on their breakup. So I'm like, well, apparently things are already sliding for one of the guys, and they're doing music for our show. That didn't take long.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you, Daft Punk is available, but I think it's about $15,000 for a 2.5-minute clip. So
that's not bad. That's not bad.
Yeah. So we have an amateur that provided this for us, but I think it was really fitting. And I'll say this: there's not a cover for an episode that I've been more proud of than this one. When it popped into my head, I was really excited. I'm like, what do we do for spring break theme? I'm like, Hacking Gone Wild. I've never been more excited for the Would You Rathers, the top fives. I'm just really excited about this show, and hopefully there's no hiccups. I'm going to knock on wood, but it's going to be a great show. A lot of exciting things going on.
Now we're already host. You pretty much just By the way, that was arguably my most succinct opening of the show ever. So that can only go downhill.
It was truly beautiful. And for the record, you aren't the guest moderator. You are the moderator. And then Kyle is the guest moderator.
Yeah, I keep trying to get out of this gig. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. But that's fine. Yeah. Anyway, so welcome to the show. This is the Hacking Gone Wild. So our top fives include like things that we what do you do for hangover food? Brian's got his dog in there helping him along. So so what have you guys been doing this last week before we even break down to what you're cooking today? What have you guys been doing the last week?
So I was out in Arizona last week. We had a live gourmet smoke session out there for St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to show on the screen here real quick a little bit of what we had going on, and we will announce our next session here shortly as well. But the gourmet smoke session. We were with Fox Cigar in Gilbert, Arizona. Had a great crowd for St. Patrick's Day. We did Fogo charcoal rubbed filet mignon. And then we did a wasabi sea scallops, and we had some cheese platters. So really good turnout and a fun time out there on the West Coast. But here's a little sign of what we did while we were out there. And I showed the wrong thing.
There we go.
Thanks for the great open, Fred.
So no, we released
all downhill now.
Yep. No, we released a special cigar out there. It was called the Machete de Oro. I don't have the video right up here, but we had posted that online. So that was exciting. That hit the retail shop last week. And I said it was a great time. We did, for the viewers that were viewing along with us and cooking with us, I know our friend Wade Hill was involved with us on that. And I'd like to shout out to Wade. Wade actually sent me a Hacking Gourmet wine glass, which I thought was really cool. So Wade, thank you for that. That was actually from a friend of mine, Paul Wallace, a family friend. And he also sent Lito and Tony and I some little Scotch glasses as well with the LFD logo. So thank you to both of you for that. But we cooked tri-tip. So we did we did Wagyu tri-tip. That was fantastic. It was about a 2-pound tri-tip. and then we did wasabi sea scallops on the side with that. So it's just 2 items, a little surf and turf, and the wasabi brought in the green aspect of it. So it was a really great menu. One thing I do want to show here is our next Gourmet Smoke Session. We're taking 1 month off, essentially. Our April Gourmet Smoke Session is going to be on May 1st. We're going to be doing the May Day Gourmet Smoke Session, and that will be Saturday, May 1st at 3 p.m. We'll have more details up online. Meat and Bones putting together the food package this week. I have a meeting with them when I get back down to Miami. And we're going to be doing a spring barbecue extravaganza. It's going to involve pork, beef, chicken, barbecue sauce, all sorts of exciting things, a brand new cheese that we haven't featured before as well. And that will be with our friends in Cumming, Georgia at the Cigar Shop. That's just north of Atlanta. Tim Clifford's the proprietor there. Looking forward to that. They got a great wine cellar at that store as the train goes by. They have a great wine cellar, so we'll be pairing some nice wines with that. So stay tuned on here, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that throughout the next month. But the next session will be Saturday, May 1st, and we'll be celebrating May Day and doing that with a spring barbecue.
Nice. Wait, are you going to do it at my house? Oh, no, that's
spring
the
barbecue.
Session.
Yes, the session.
Yeah. I was thinking trial run. I got distracted. I'm actually hungry. Okay, and I'm in that angry mood right now. So Brian, why don't you tell me what you ate for the last week? Let me bring it up here.
Well, I did a little traveling for work finally, but I did do a tri-tip with chimichurri, which turned out really good. And I actually did something. I did a French onion chicken stew. So it's like French onion soup, but with chicken thighs in it, which turned out really, really good. So there's been not a lot of cooking going on, but some good cooking. And I did beef fajitas last night, which always good. Always good.
So now you did did you do any corned beef? I know like Paul Costco, a mutual friend of ours, him and I were doing corned beef. Did you do some corned beef recently?
I did not. I have never cooked corned beef. That's on the bucket list, so that was not me.
Do you have an Instapot?
I do not. I think I need to get one.
Yeah, you got to throw it in the Instapot. I mean, Paul, we were going back and forth on there, an Instapot, corned beef with an Instapot. I joked on Facebook that I bought a 21-pound corned beef brisket when I was done cooking it. It was 4.7 ounces. Talk about any particular meat with shrinkage scenario. That's it, but that's the way to cook it. I did another one. I did that. By the way, when we did the show, I think I had the corned beef, and I did that Guinness reduction sauce. So I took all the stuff that was in the Instapot at the bottom after doing the potatoes, the cabbage, the Guinness, garlic, stuff like that, and I reduced that with into half the reduction sauce. I called it a Guinness reduction sauce because it's mostly Guinness, and I used that as the liquid in the shepherd's pie 2 days later. And it was outstanding in the shepherd's pie. That was a game changer. And so it's a little bit salty, so I haven't found a lot of uses for it, but it totally changed the way the shepherd's pie tasted. So I was super, super happy with that. Anyway, let's get on to what we're cooking today, because no one cares about what we already ate. Let's talk about what we're going to eat now. So
let's go with Brian. Let's go with Brian first. But I am going to say one thing. We have had people in the past that said they don't like music when the show's going on. This is spring break, so we are going to have a little bit of music. We'll keep it quiet. It won't get out of control, but this is spring break, and we get to set the mood right. So welcome to Hacking Gone Wild. This is uncensored, and we got music going to be playing here. We're in the club.
Wow.
So, Brian, it's time to tell us your ingredients, baby. Show us what
in tribute to spring break, and to many people that might have that day after regret, I'm going to do a hangover. Burrito, and actually, I'm throwing in a surprise ingredient. I didn't list it on my ingredients list, but I'm going to add bacon to this as well. So it's going to be 3 fried eggs. It's going to be a spicy sweet aioli. So it's going to be maple syrup, mayonnaise, and sriracha mixed together with tater tots, cheese, and caramelized onions. It's going to be the perfect hangover remedy for the end of spring break.
I didn't even need. So when you sent over that list, by the way, I think I saw your food. So I was late on the text game with you guys, and I saw that food list before I saw the theme. And it's like, I didn't even need to know the theme for what that was for. That was either 2 a.m. breakfast or that was hangover food. There was, I mean, it was like, and I don't know what, if it hit me after the single malts or what, but I'm like, oh, I want this now.
It's going to be perfect. Perfect for the morning after.
Nice. Carney, what's your hangover food of choice for today?
So I'm doing a Mac N Cheese Menage. This is a play on some of the exploits that happened during spring break. This will just be a conglomerate of a bunch of different things thrown together in mac and cheese. I'm going to be doing a wine-infused pasta. So I've got rotini here. So I'm going to be cooking that in red wine. So on the grill can here while I'm talking, I'm going to start that heating up. And I'm going to put my red wine in there, and I'm going to cook the pasta in the red wine. Then we're going to take, man, these yellow texts are hard to read. So we're going to do ground beef, rotini, Parmesan cheese. We've got some heavy cream. We've got cheddar cheese. We've got pickles. We've got tomatoes. We've got onions. We're going to put Brussels sprouts in there. We're going to do some salt, some pepper. Red wine, as I said. We got olive oil. And then we're going to top it with ketchup and mustard. So we're making a cheeseburger mac and cheese menage.
So, Brian, do you think he's getting fancy putting menage in here? I mean, did someone get a thesaurus for over the weekend or something?
I think so.
A menage?
You want fries?
I don't even think that's. I'm not even sure menage is a thing in cooking. Is it like trio? What is menage?
So it's a play on menage.
I think it's a way to charge more money.
It's a play on the word menage a trois, which is a sexual exploit. So that's something that we hear a lot about during spring break, especially in Miami. I decided to do the food because I'm a gentleman, and that's what we'll be doing. But I am going to do something kind of unique here today. I'm going to air fry the Brussels sprouts before I put them in there. So I'm going to be using an air fryer, and I'm going to air fry those Brussels sprouts before we put them in so they have a nice crispness to it. I'm going to be using those in there, and it's just a combination of stuff thrown together and disgustingness into something that's great. And I think that's the essence of spring break, is it's a bunch of disgustingness together that turns into something great. And as you'll find out later in some of our gourmet facts here, it ends in a lot of arrests from time to time. So.
All right, there we go. So everybody's off and running, and thank you to Steve's Spice Shake. How do you say it? What do you say? You say
Uncle
Steve's.
Steve. It's Uncle Steve.
Uncle Steve. That's Uncle Steve. I'm looking at the notes, and I don't see where it is in the notes, but I know it's in here. See, I was doing so. There it is. Ingredients by Uncle Steve Shake. Actually, I have them, and I've been using them, and I've been pretty darn impressed with them. Also, given their price point. So there we go.
Hey,
what else?
Fred, Uncle Steve.
Yeah.
Is in Buc-ee's. So Buc-ee's approved.
What?
Yes.
Oh, that's game changer. That's game changer right there.
Buy Uncle Steve's shake.
You know what? If I'll tell you what, that's actually probably a bigger deal than people realize, because one, I mean, Buc-ee's is Texas. I mean, let's just say Texas. Spices are a big deal. If you make it to Buc-ee's, and that's got to be like, there should be like a party. I bet like when he got the letter from Buc-ee's saying, "Hey, we want your stuff." You probably get to meet Bucky, or yeah, exactly. Yeah, you probably get to go. There's probably a party. It's like a roast, but in a good way. Oh, Bucky's, where are you in Florida?
They are in Florida, actually, on your way to Jacksonville.
Daytona.
It's not open yet, though, right? The Daytona one's not open yet?
I thought it was.
I just drove by the other day. I believe it's open.
What? I'm looking it up right now. Daytona, Buc-ee's.
So I've got my pasta going in here. I'm going to jump on the grill cam real quick. This is brought to us by our friends at Meat and Bone. So up here on the stovetop, we've got the rotini sitting in the red wine. I've got my baking pan here because we're going to do a little baking. I've got the oven preheated to 450 degrees. And then I'm going to grab a little saucepan down here, and I'm going to start making essentially what you want to do with a mac and cheese is you want to make the sauce prior to it. And I'm going to make it's essentially called a bechamel sauce. And this is going to be cream. And I'm going to use the grated Parmesan in there. and we're going to break that cream down. We're going to break that Parmesan cheese down, melt it up, and make a nice little bechamel sauce out of it. We'll put the salt and pepper in there as well. And then I'm going to cook my burger patties I got here, ground beef. We're going to put those patties in there. And I'm going to cut up my onions, cut up my tomatoes, cut up the pickles here. And then once we're ready to bake, we'll come back and take a look. But the grill cam will be on the entire time for everyone to view that. So I said pasta's going, patty's going to go on, and we're going to start that bechamel sauce in the back.
Nice. All right, Brian, what do you got going on? By the way, I got the Buc-ee's update. Believe it or not, as luck would have it, they opened yesterday. Yesterday was their first official day in Daytona.
That sounds like a
road trip. Road trip. See you guys later.
Onions caramelizing, seasoned with Uncle Steve's shake. Shake on everything, by the way.
Which one did you use, by the way? What did you use on the onions? Which spice did you use? The everything deal?
Uncle Steve's shake on everything.
Okay, all right. I wonder if he looks like that. Is that how he really looks?
That's actually Uncle Steve, yes.
That is Uncle Steve?
Yes.
All right.
All right. So I got the onions caramelizing. I got some bacon being made. I'm going to add some sage breakfast sausage to it here in a minute. And then we'll do the fried eggs, the cheese, and we'll make the aioli next.
Have you noticed that Carney's only playing the music when one of us are talking?
I know, it's kind of weird, isn't it?
I don't want to make anything out of it. I just think it's kind of weird. You know, I mean,
does it really surprise you all that much?
No, not really.
Last minute addition, guys. Last minute addition. I'm going to put a little white wine in this bechamel sauce. Why not? Spring break.
Wow, we're getting crazy. Spring break, throwing some white wine in the bechamel. Oh, I got to tell you, that is just some crazy stuff there. Okay. All right, what else we got going on here? I'm going to go look at the show notes, see what I'm supposed to be doing right now, because I don't actually pay attention to those. So 5:20, here we go. There's actually, okay, so 15 minutes. Hey, let's do the top 5. Sponsored by Wood Butcher, Maine, of all places. If you've been seeing him on the show, you can go out to Wood Butcher and see all the stupid cool stuff he makes. I need to reach out to him because I want to have him make me a big old countertop. Top 5 hangover foods. So this should be interesting, and I'm actually really curious what everybody puts in the comments, what their hangover food is. So McGee, skillet hash. I'm going to ask him some questions about that. Any leftovers, grilled cheese, Bloody Mary, brunch mimosas. There we go, salad hangover list. Carney is pizza, burgers, chicken nuggets, french fries, steak and eggs. Wow, Carney, you and I are really close. I have Bloody Mary burrito, which is a breakfast burrito, steak and eggs, cheeseburger, and hash browns. So we have like several burgers, steak and eggs, hash browns instead of french fries. But everybody's kind of in the same wheelhouse there, interestingly enough.
Well, one thing I didn't classify on mine is I prefer to have all of those at the same exact time.
Oh yeah, I assumed that's what the question was. Yeah. So McGee, tell me about the skillet hash. Are we talking diced potatoes here? What is the skillet hash?
Yeah. So for me, it's diced potatoes with onion, jalapeno, bell pepper, and a couple of fried eggs on top of it.
Okay. All right. No sausage?
Or yeah, bacon, sausage, whatever you want to add to it.
Okay. All right. Don't leave out the 4 food groups: sausage, bacon, thick cut bacon, and spicy Buc-ee's sausage. So there we go. Cole said in the chat, he says, no one said cigar. I love that. That's a good point. I don't know, man. Cigars on hangovers. I mean, I can't say that I do it, but I can't. I pretty much always do, but I can't imagine it's never my first choice. That's interesting.
Well, the thing
is, it's not the cure, though, is it?
No, normally
no.
Here's the problem. We've all been in the cigar industry, right? So generally, the hangover, as part of the hangover, you've got a cigar hangover at the same time. So sometimes in the morning, the last thing you want is, smoke in your mouth.
I mean, I kind of look at it like if you think of like IPCPR or something like that, where we're out there, we're out late, you're drinking, you're smoking all day long. I mean, to say that I would have to add cigar to the list of hangover foods would be like saying I have to add, hey, remember to breathe or drink water.
Right.
It's just like kind of almost like I'm already doing that and I will continue to do that. Like I'm going to go out of my way to get a Bloody Mary because that's not part of my normal routine. So Cole, I'm going to say the reason that it's not on there is because that's pretty much just like we're already doing that anyway. Except Carney, who apparently has fessed up that he probably would not have a cigar, but yes, you would. And I know you would. All right, let's lose the top 5 things. Although the top 5 things sitting on the screen is covering up Carney, so that actually is pretty good. Oh, maybe it was already gone. I was looking at the Facebook, not the other stuff. Yeah, my bad. Okay, never mind. Moving on. So let's check in to see where everybody's cooking. I have no idea. I wasn't really paying attention at the beginning of the show because this is spring break, and I don't really care what you guys are all doing. I music's on. So
I've got the cream going on over here. I put some salt, pepper, garlic in there. Put a little bit of the the white wine. I'm just tasting it to make sure the flavor's out where we want. I'm gonna add a little bit more cheese now. With a grated cheese, when you're making this sauce, one thing you want to do is you don't want it to just sit there. So I've got my spoon here, and I'm slowly stirring it in. And essentially, what we is this is an emulsion. Essentially, is we're making sure the cheese and the cream come together as one. So when we put it in with the pasta, we're not just dumping cheese on top and it's not separated. So we want to make sure we're stirring this throughout and keeping a close eye on it. We're not trying to get it up to a complete boil, but since we did put some white wine in there, we do want that to cook down a little bit so we're not tasting the alcohol. But we are going to go in the stove, in the oven here on the bottom for about 25 minutes or so that'll cook off the rest of the alcohol. And then I do have the burger patties, my ground beef on there. I'm trying to...
Where did the red wine go?
The red wine is right now inside the pasta here, cooking the pasta. So it's right here. We've got pasta inside here, the rotini, and it's soaking up the red wine right now.
And what's the bechamel for?
The bechamel is going to be the base cheese sauce, and it's going to get dumped over the top of this one. This pasta is done in a few minutes. We're going to cook this slightly less than al dente because it's going to take some more cooking. We don't want it to be soggy. We're going to pull this out, strain it, and then we're going to dump it into a baking sheet right here, and we're going to bake it right inside there. And with the burger patties, what I'm doing is getting a little bit of crust on them, and we're going to cook these up almost fully. So we're going to get a little bit of crust. I'm cooking this on medium heat. The bechamel's starting to bubble up a little bit over here, so I'm going to turn the heat down to medium, and then we're going to stir it up and make sure the cheese doesn't burn and make sure it emulsifies.
So if you guys are following along at home and heard all that, I think the big takeaways here were that we had, it is the uncensored. The cooks can do whatever they want. We have red and white wine playing together in the same pasta dish. I have no idea how this is going to work out. I think it's turned into a complete hangover food. And, of all the meals, maybe that's one I could pass on right now so far. Cole wants to know where the nutmeg is in the bechamel.
Just listen to the music, Cole, and enjoy it.
There we go. There we go. Just go along with it. We're all going down to South Beach till 8 o'clock. We have to leave at 8 o'clock because there is a curfew right now. But and other than that, how about those kids must be just really bummed. Like, hey, spring break. Oh, we got to go to bed at 8. It's like worse than when just being in your own hometown. I think at that point.
Right, if anybody should be drinking right now, should be you.
So, Brian, what do you got going on?
Yeah.
Well, the onions are now translucent, so they got probably another 15 minutes or so to get some caramelization going. We got the bacon and the sausage in the pan cooking. Oh, and I got this beautiful spicy maple aioli ready. Maple syrup, sriracha, and mayonnaise.
I have never done that. I've never added the maple syrup element to that. I've done sriracha mayo all the time, but I've never added the maple syrup. Interesting.
Well, as always, a lot of people say that nothing complements spiciness like sweetness. So I add a little maple syrup to the spiciness. You get a nice little combo there.
There we go. I like it. All righty, what do we got here? Coming up on the half-hour mark, and we should probably look at some Gourmet Facts, sponsored by McGee's Smoked Meats and our good friends at Crown Heads. If you haven't tried, by the way, and I noticed the show we have gotten away from talking about cigars a little too much, and we need to rectify that in the next episode stat, because I think we're not talking enough cigar stuff. Although that's just a deal, but. Before we get to Gourmet Facts, or while we have the Gourmet Facts logo up there, which is just fine, Brian, since this is your guys' spot, what do you guys have new coming out from Crown Heads? Or this year?
This year, I can't really, it looks like we're back to normal for our May announcement of Las Calaveras this year and shipping in June. Tomorrow is the Dream Machine for TAA. So we will be our new. It used to be called the Angel's Anvil, and now it's going to be called the Lost Angel. So our TAA cigar will be the Lost Angel. Will be shipping next month.
Oh, I've had that before. That's really good. So one thing I also want to do on this, and I'm not saying I'm making this up as I go along, but I'm totally making this up as I go along. Give me a cigar that people can still find on the shelf, Brian, that they may have passed or missed if they're newer to Crown Heads, or they need to go back and I need to go back to that cigar. Like for me, it'd be Jericho Hill. But give me a cigar that you're just like, hey, you know what? This is like a sleeper that everybody forgets about. It's a phenomenal cigar. What should they go look for next time they walk into a shop?
For me personally, it's the La Imperiosa. It's a dark Ecuadorian Habano wrapper. It's all Nicaraguan filler and binder. Made at my father factories. It's the same blend as the original 2014 Las Calaveras. And for me, it's a daily smoke. I smoke one every day, and I personally love that stick.
I think that's an excellent call, especially for all the people that really liked the 2014 Las Calaveras and they wanted it back. Not realizing those cigars were going to change each year. Yeah, I agree. Right. It is definitely a solid everyday smoke. All right, let's get to the Gourmet Facts. This is where Mr. Carney gets to showcase his knowledge and drop some facts on it. We're still learning in the Miami Gone Wild.
Here we go. So according to Spoon University, Mac N Cheese is the go-to spring break food, followed by bagels.
Mac and cheese, really?
Followed by bacon?
Bagels.
What?
Hey, I didn't write it. Spoon University did.
Well, I had bagels on my list as a thing. I'm surprised about the mac and cheese.
During spring break, males consume nearly 18 alcoholic beverages a day, and females 10.
Okay.
1 second.
That's a lot of drinks.
That's a lot of drinks. When it was 18, I was
that's
like,
a lot of drinks.
That is a lot of drinks.
That's like.
So I'm straining off the red wine right now. I'll set the pasta aside in the back. And we'll add that. The bechamels, I got that down to medium-low heat. All right, here we go. Spring breakers spend over $1 billion during spring break, and there's over 2 million spring break college students that participate in spring break.
Spring breakers spend over $1 billion over 2 million spring breakers. Interesting. Wow. Well, we've been averaging 1 million people on a plane every day for the last 10 days or something like that. So,
you know the thing that surprises me? So being down here in Florida and living in Miami, I'm going back this evening. I've been watching some of this stuff on the news with all the crazy stuff going on down in Miami. Some of the people on there don't quite look like they're college students. I don't know if it might be some people taking advantage of their stimulus check money and taking a trip down to Miami, but they don't all look like college students to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, is there a group of people that go down? Maybe it's an 8-year window of college people still go down for fun that are out of college or just figure, hey, it's going to be a good party. I don't know. It's a good question. I will go nowhere near there. I will go nowhere near crowds. So,
well,
that's just
the tradition of spring break began in 1938 in Fort Lauderdale.
Before that, no one was allowed to take a break, or
Well,
I don't know how that worked out.
from my readings here, what happened was there was essentially a big national pool party that was thrown down in Fort Lauderdale. I don't remember the name of it, but it was the first official party where students and things were invited down, and that was when it started, 1938. One other thing I want to mention when we're in here is this is not a sponsor, but these are some of the best pickles in the world. They're out of Boston. They're called Grillos. These are incredible pickles if you ever get a chance to try those. And our last gourmet fact of the day. Ironically, Joe Francis, the Girls Gone Wild founder, has 2 children, and they're both girls. Hashtag
Karma.
Karma. Well, that was it. I didn't know that many people drank. That was the one that was surprising to me. Of course, I guess that's when it started at the big pool party there. They were drinking sidecars and Pim's Cup, and hey, I'm gonna have a gin Ricky. I don't know what they were drinking back then. I'm just making this up as I go along. I have no idea what they drank. Maybe they had beer. Maybe it was just the same thing. All right, well, that's your Gourmet Facts, dropping a little bit of, Hacking Gone Wild Spring Break Edition knowledge there as our chefs slowly start rounding the corner on getting things. Looks like Brian's got some, what are you doing, Brian? Is that tortillas?
Tortillas are here. Those are the fried eggs.
Oh, okay,
The
all
onions
right.
are cooked on line, bacon and sausage, aioli. We're getting ready to build.
Look how great this
hungry right
pasta
now.
looks on the coming out of the red wine. It takes on such a great color. So one thing we're going to do here is we're going to start building this. We're going to start. Well, you wouldn't get the flavor out of it. The concept of this is you get the sweetness.
I know.
All right, so we're going to put a little pasta in here. We're going to build this up. Spread that out a little bit here. We're going to take this bechamel here without nutmeg. Set a little bit aside. Take a little bit of the ground beef. Then we're going to take the onions, the pickles, and the tomatoes. And I've got a three cheddar cheese blend here. I got shredded Vermont white cheddar, sharp cheddar, and mild cheddar cheese. We're going to put a little bit on the top of this here, and then we're going to layer it again. Spring break, so feel free to be very liberal with the amount of cheese we put on.
Go crazy. Go crazy. Just eat that cheese right out of the container. That's what they do down south.
Then we're going to put the remaining pasta directly on top.
What?
Evenly. Then we're going to put the rest of this bechamel right over the top.
I might have overstuffed this a little bit.
You might have over what?
I might have overstuffed this burrito.
Oh, I do that like all the time. We'll take a look at it when we get off the permanent grill cam setup right here.
Well,
He's dressing up the little pasta.
So we're going to put the pickles and the onions right on the top here at the end, and then we're going to hit it with just a little more cheese on top.
This is like the oddest combination of foods today, this show.
All right, now this is going to go straight into the oven. And I got it at 450 degrees. We're going to do it for about 20 minutes or so. And then we're going to have a perfectly made Mac N Cheese Menage. Let's go check on Brian.
let's take a look at this overstuffed.
The music just stopped. The party just went over to Brian. Let's just bring it down a notch. There we go. Oh, wow. Look at that. That looks good.
Yeah.
I challenge anybody to go to like a food truck and get anything that doesn't look like that. That is classic there.
Yes. This will cure what ails you.
Absolutely.
So now that I've got stuff in the oven baking, I'm going to take advantage of this time to do a little cleanup, pre-cleanup here. So I'm just going to rinse out and get some of these pans soaking, make it easier. And yeah, now I'm just setting it, forget it with this baking here. And I'm going to eat one of these pickles. You're going to try these Grillo pickles, man.
Where do you get them?
You can get them at Publix.
Okay.
They're just incredible.
All right. I do like pickles. Can't stand cucumbers, but I do like pickles. Go figure.
Same here.
Grillo started as like a food truck. It was like a pickle food truck in Boston. And then they just took off, and they're insanely good. But the thing I like about it is they're very crisp.
Have either of you guys dealt with a infrared broiler for very much?
I have.
No.
You like it?
I'm not a huge fan of them. I guess what it says is it's more consistent heat, right?
Yeah.
But you know how I cook. I like the extreme heat, so I like it as hot as humanly possible. So it's very even. You can cook even with it, but I haven't personally gone crazy on it. And I did forget one thing on this. I forgot the Brussels sprouts. That's why I never use an air fryer, and they are burnt.
Oh, there we go. All right, let's see here. This is a good time for Carney to remind everybody of the after we see this money shot here of the overstuffed burrito.
Now it's a regular stuffed burrito. It's
actually I like the overstuffed. I like the overstuffed. Just like I need a plate and a cutting board, and I need some dude following me, picking up the scraps and re-putting them on the bottom of the plate for me. You know, or just leave an open tortilla underneath it. Eat it, so when it falls in, you got another burrito ready to go immediately. That's how you run that. All right, let's take a look at the Hacking Gourmet swag store. Carney always throws some different stuff up on the swag store where you can go get like T-shirts, and apparently you can get a bikini. You should have already had that. You should have had that this week already for spring break. You should have had that bikini. You should have been wearing it on the show. I don't know what happened. I feel like I've failed as a moderator, letting everybody do that.
Well, one thing I am going to add, I really like the logos we got going on this week, so I think I might add up a Hacking on Wild Uncensored Spring Break collection here this week. So keep your eyes peeled for that, and we'll get some of those up there if anybody's interested in that. I know I certainly am, so I'll be putting some of that together this week. But yeah, just go to hackinggourmet.com. The store is always up. You can check out any past episodes as well. Upcoming Gourmet Smoke Sessions, which we have coming up. As I said, the April session, which is on screen here at the cigar shop in Cumming, Georgia. And you can find that info on meatandbones.com as well. But Hacking Gourmet is the hub for all of our partners, Uncle Steve Shake, McGee's Smoked Meats and Crown Heads, LFD Cigars, and Meat and Bone. So anything you're looking for, if you can't quite remember what it is, remember Hacking Gourmet, and you'll be all set.
There we go. There we go. Let's see. Do you want to talk about the May Smoke Session?
Yeah, so we do. We have that May 1st session coming up. As I said, we just had it on the screen there. And we're actually going to have a second session in May as well. I can bring that information up here real quick if everybody'd like to take a look at that. Our second session will be with, and these are all live and in person now. So we are broadcasting them, but they'll also be live. But we will be doing our May session. See if I can get this pulled up. We'll be doing our second May session with our friends at Tobacco Plaza in Great Neck, New York. We're going to be doing a private dinner there for 100 guests, and then we'll be broadcasting live. That's going to be from the Swans Club in Roslyn, New York. And I've got a picture of this one here. We're going to be doing a steak dinner for that one. We're going to be doing some chicken as well. But that will be with our friends, as I said, at Tobacco Plaza in Great Neck, New York. And this one's going to be called An Evening Under the Stars, because this will be an evening event and involves cigars, the whole deal. And that'll be right up here on the screen. So that's our Gourmet Smoke Session for May 25th. That will be on a Tuesday. It'll actually be the night after we do our second May episode. So yeah, we'll have that with Tobacco Plaza on May 25th. We have a special cigar we're doing for that called the Long Island Iced Tea. Pictures to come. And then, as I said, we've got our May 1st, May Day session with the cigar shop. So 2 sessions in May. Should be really exciting.
Nice. Very nice. Brian, you have nothing else to report. You just ate. You're good. How was it?
Fred, let me tell you, you would you're gonna have, this sauce on this is that spicy sweet with the sausage and bacon and the eggs. I mean, you could just drizzle that over eggs and it'd be awesome. Man, it's good.
You kind of pulled off that thing, like it's so, you know, when you're like, okay, so we've done the thing where we're at Stogie's, you know, and it's like, you know, you do the wing ding and you're there at the end of the day, and then we all go down to the pies place, you know, at 3 a.m. and we're ordering breakfast and stuff like that. You know that like you're gonna eat everything that's on the plate. So you're gonna have like, there's gonna be 2 pancakes, there's gonna be eggs, there's gonna be bacon, there's gonna be sausage, and you got eggs. And then you maple syrup your pancakes, but that got elsewhere. Like, there's that last couple bites that's that magic moment of everything. Like you're not going to stop eating, and you just got everything that came together. That's kind of what you've just pulled off right there in the burrito with that sauce.
That is exactly what that is. That's a perfect way to explain it. It is
all right.
amazing.
Let's take a look at the. Well, I'm going to check in with Carney just to see if his food's coming out. If his food's coming out, we're going to talk about that. If it's not coming out, then we are going to go to what I'm afraid of is a would you rather, and I'm really afraid where this is going to go on spring break week. No, please don't dance. Please
Food's
don't
not
dance.
ready. We've got another 12 more minutes in the oven here, so we've got 16 more minutes to show. So we'll wrap that right up at the end. But I do have
talk real slow.
An exciting would you rather. It's actually not as bad as you would think. I actually cleaned it up a little bit. So here we go. Would you rather? Red Meat Lovers Club. Red Meat Lovers Club's got some really fun events that have gone on here in Florida the last month or so.
Yeah.
I did a boxing match with them about a month and a half, 2 months ago. They just did a big fundraiser with Wagyu, A5 beef, and prime beef at Davidoff in Tampa.
Face off. The big face off, yeah.
And then he's got a couple other ones going on, but the end of the month, I believe it's the very last week of April. No, sorry, very last week of March, coming up in a week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm going to be a guest judge on a prime rib day. National Prime Rib Day is coming up, I think, next Tuesday. And I will be a guest judge on a prime rib competition down there with the Red Meat Lovers Club. So we're looking forward to that. So come see us down there. You can go to rmlclub.com. Our friend Evan Darnell, thank you. We're looking forward to that. We'll do some live footage when I'm
Where
down
is
there as well.
Where is that going to be? Where is the prime rib face-off going to be?
You know what? Let me pull that up. Go to redmeatloversclub.com.
Considering I cook like 30 prime ribs a year minimum, I'm surprised that I'm not judging this thing.
I don't know how you've not got it. Check your spam folder, Fred. Maybe you got lost.
Yeah, I know. I mean, there are a couple. If it's bacon or prime rib, I mean, I got to be the go-to guy for that. There's a whole lot of stuff that I would like. Fish, don't call me. I'm not going to be the expert on fish unless you start talking some salmon, Pacific Northwest. But that's it. Maybe crab. You know, I could get on that.
All right, so this is in April. I lied. This is April 27th. Next week is a pop-up event they've got going on. The pop-up event is, what is this one? Let me see if I can pull this up here. There we go. So you're looking at the pop-up event now. This is their next event, March 24th, Red Meat Lovers Club event. This is in Potions and Motions in Boca Raton, Florida. So they're going to be doing cheesesteaks, sandwiches, a bunch of desserts. It's National Cheesesteak Day. So they've got that.
Nice.
That's the next event. And then the prime rib one is the one we're the most interested in. That's April 27th. You can check that here, National Prime Rib Day.
They're going to be down at the Sis Trunk Marketplace and Brewery in Fort Lauderdale. Yep. Yeah. Okay.
So that's going to be a fun one. If you're in the Florida area, check that out. Highly recommend it. Got back here. But here we go. This is the Would You Rather. Be prepared. It's not as bad as you're going to think. All right.
You don't know what we think.
Beer, wine, or liquor? Beer, wine, or liquor?
I mean, I don't win.
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Is this like
how win? How much?
By the way, this has a very distinct name to it. Would you rather have beer, wine, or liquor?
I would probably choose, if I had to pick just one category, I'd probably have wine.
Let's say liquor.
I'm going with wine myself.
Hey, Fred, whatever you do not dip your leftover tater tots into this sauce. Don't do it.
Why not? Why not?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Ah, sorry, Carney.
Oh.
Would you rather
I'm going to still do that.
drive in a Jeep, a convertible, a party bus, or have mopeds?
Well, we know Fred's answer.
It's a Jeep, but it's also a convertible, so I got two of those bitches.
I'll go Jeep.
I'm going Jeep as well.
Jeep Gladiator.
All right. For spring break, would you rather go to Miami Beach, Panama City Beach, San Padre Island, or Daytona?
I'm going to go Daytona because you can drive on the beach.
Ooh. I don't want to go to any of them. But I know what a blank show Miami Beach, Panama Beach, and Daytona are. So I'm going to go to San Padre just because, hey, I get to be in Texas, and B, maybe it's different.
I'm going to go Panama City Beach. I already live in Miami Beach.
The Redneck Riviera.
I lived in Panama City.
All right, the next. Would you rather do a hotel or an Airbnb?
Airbnb.
I'm going hotel. I like the maid service. All right, here we go. Would you rather go on a cruise or to the beach?
Brian?
I'm going to say cruise. I like the idea of a moving hotel.
Yeah, I like cruises better than I like just going to the beach.
I'm going to go with cruise ship.
Yeah.
Because a cruise ship.
Not anytime in the near future. But not for a couple of years, but.
Yeah, not now.
Not now. Wait a minute. I want to change my answer.
All right, ready? Would you rather breakfast for lunch or breakfast for dinner?
Both? Breakfast for dinner.
I'm going breakfast for dinner as well. Fred? I think Fred's frozen, right? So we're going to have to answer for him. Let's say he's breakfast for lunch, or he agreed with us breakfast for dinner. So breakfast for dinner it is. And I do want to bring one last thing up again. I don't think the irony can be lost on the fact that one of our gourmet facts was that Joe Francis, the founder of Girls Gone Wild, has 2 children, and both of them are female, and they're girls. How fitting. Karma.
It's crazy. That's crazy.
So we've lost Fred, Brian. He'll be back in a minute.
All right.
But you're eating. I've got another 4 or 5 minutes on my casserole here, my Mac N Cheese Menage. But I do have a question for you. I've been traveling a little bit. I'm taking it easy this next month in April, end of March. I'll be mostly here in Florida. But I've seen you've been getting out a little bit more, and I know you and I have been talking about some state competitions again. So that's been kind of fun. What do you have coming up event-wise for you, and where's your next steps as the country in Texas is back to being open?
So I was just in Fuego in McKinney. And
Well, I've now lost everybody here. So we lost both the boys. So I think it's time to just put the club music on. And we'll focus on my dish here. So we'll go back to me. As I said, we got the Gourmet Smoke Sessions coming up Saturday, May 1st will be our next session. If you'd like to jump online, hackinggourmet.com. Our Gourmet Smoke Session from St. Patrick's Day is available on there. And you can also go to foxcigar.com to pick up the Machete de Oro, which is the cigar exclusively made for that event. We've got a really unique cigar coming up for May 1st, and we'll be talking about those over the next few weeks. One thing I would like to jump into here, let's go back to the grill cam. We're almost at the point where we're going to be taking these dishes out, and the music just doesn't stop. So we got a nice cleanup here, but this is in the stove. You can see here, put in the oven at 450 degrees. I topped it with the Grillo pickles here. And then we also topped it with some sweet onion. I used sweet Vidalia onion. I wanted something sweeter with it. I was going to use shallots, but it's a little bit sharp. And then we got grape tomatoes, Parmesan cheese that we used in the bechamel, and a 3 cheddar cheese blend that we topped it with. So we put it in the oven for about 25 minutes. Pretty much everything in there went pre-cooked. I like doing that because that way I don't have to worry about, 1, burning the cheese, 2, cooking the pasta long enough and providing too much moisture. Because you need a lot of moisture when you're cooking dry pasta, and if you're doing it in a stove and you don't have enough moisture, you're going to have some really inconsistencies there. And I don't really like my mac and cheese overly baked. I like to have a nice texture to it, but I do like to, crisp the top up a little bit. And one way you can do that is by turning on the broiler, which we'll do here. So let's just broil here for a few moments. We'll get the top of that all set. Put the broiler on high, and it's going to get some good color and good crust right on the top. And we'll do that just for a few moments, and then we'll pull that out. So it's lonely here without everybody. Brian's frozen. Fred's frozen. We got a great top 5. Say what you rather. I definitely jinxed the show by saying at the beginning that we weren't going to have any issues. But we do have a special guest in the meantime. Jonathan has come to join us. He's the man of the house. This is Jonathan number 2. So for anyone who hasn't met them, this is my cleanup crew. Whenever I drop something on the ground, this bad boy gets after it. So there's Jonathan, man of the house, taking care of business. We'll take a quick look back over here. The broiler's on high here. Get some great color going. We're just looking for a little bit of bubble and a little bit of goldenness cheese. This is going to be delicious. All right. I'll get a little zoom here on the grill cam. We can zoom in here just a little bit. So you can see we got some great color to it. Baked up quite nicely. You can see the purple and red color from the pasta. Going to be a really nice dish. This is the cheeseburger mac and cheese. One last thing we're going to do is we're going to top it with a little bit of ketchup, crisscross it here. And we're going to do the same thing with a little bit of mustard. And there you have it. That's the cheeseburger mac and cheese menage. Brian prepared the hangover burrito. and we're going to take it home here. You can come and find us. Our next episode will be in April, the second week of April. I believe that's April 12th. That'll be our next episode of Hacking Gourmet. Our next episode of the Florida Dominicana Gourmet Sessions will be on May 1st. That's on a Saturday. That'll be an afternoon spring barbecue edition. In the meantime, you can check us out live on all of our past live episodes on hackinggourmet.com. You can check out Hacking Gourmet on YouTube, as well as on Facebook and Instagram, where we'll have pictures of the backup food here from today's episode, and all of our past episodos and all of our partners' pages are available on hackinggourmet.com. Thank you to LFD Cigars, thank you to the Red Beet Lovers Club, Wood Butcher, the Florida Dominicana Cigars, and our friends at McGee's Smoked Meats that are featuring there with the Gourmet Facks at the bottom of the screen. We'll see you on our next episode in April. Have a great spring break. Stay safe out there, and if you're under curfew, make sure you get home.